Hi, I'm Chris Haigh and this is the Fiddle Channel, and today I'm going to show you some ideas on how to play Summertime. Summertime was written in 1935 by George Gershwin for the opera Porgy and Bess, and it rapidly became a jazz standard. It has a very much bluesy, folky feel, mostly due to the fact that it's based mainly on the A minor pentatonic, which gives you that feel. It can be sung, it can be done in lots of different keys depending on who is singing it, but as an instrumental and for the violin, A minor I think is by far the most common key, and it's a great key for soloing on. I'm going to give you 10 different ideas for how to approach this tune or song. First of all, let's look at the melody. I'm going to give you first of all the very basic melody as you might read it from a sheet, and then I'll suggest what you might do with the melody itself. Now that's the basic melody, but that's not how you should play it. I did swing the quavers, but it has a very, very straight feel when you play that like that. And really you have to rephrase pretty well every single bar in some way or other. By lengthening notes, shortening notes, altering notes. Listen to anybody singing this and no one will sing it as I just played it. They will all find ways of extemporizing, shall we say, on the melody. So I've written out just 4 bars with this kind of treatment. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's just choosing different phrasings for the notes. It's all very well for me to say that. I know you need to have the vocabulary to be able to do this, but if you listen to either instrumentalists playing this or singers singing it, and you'll hear the kind of thing that I mean, and you've got to aim to do that. People, if they're going to listen to you playing Summertime, they want to hear your version of it, not my version of it, and not the original sheet music version. So I'm just going to play once through the melody, and I will just fairly subtly alter the melody. I think you'll agree that that sounds a lot better. It's far more enjoyable for you as a player and for the listener to do something like that. And your ultimate aim is to be able to, if you play this tune 100 times in the next 5 years, to do it 100 different ways without really having to think about it. And that is a huge task, actually. If you've seen, I have a jazz violin book, Exploring Jazz Violin, and a music guru's course based on that, and that will give you some ideas as to how ultimately you can get to be able to do that. But so that's number one is the basic melody. Number two, rephrasing the melody. Three, the simplest approach to improvising on this is using the A minor pentatonic, only the A minor pentatonic, which is or just giving a bit of swing. Now we've got quite a few chords here, but to some extent the A minor pentatonic will make its way through all those chords. Let's just have a listen. So there's no absolute disasters there. The last line where it goes through C major 7, F7, B flat, B minor 7 flat 5, E7, A minor. That looks like a difficult sequence, but that actually works really well with just the A minor pentatonic. It just makes what you're playing sound more interesting as those chords change. But doing that is a real cop-out. The least you can do is to add to that the minor blues scale. So if we add a flattened fifth, the E flat, that'll give it a much more bluesy feel, and it'll deal better with those changing chords. Now when you start playing a blues scale, then you're kind of invited to play in a bluesy style, which is not exactly the same thing. And to me, the two keys to playing blues are simplicity and repetition. So if you're just noodling like that, it can get really boring and really tedious very quickly. But if you're simpler and more aggressive, then it will sound quite a lot better. I'll give you a couple of times round, and I'm starting to think of myself as Stuff Smith as I do this. Another approach is not to do a blues scale, but to follow the different chords and maybe build your solo around the arpeggios. So A minor, D minor, E7, and this will be more jazzy and less bluesy. Let's just have a go at that. And I didn't extend that to the final line of chords, but you could do. But that's kind of getting into bebop when you do something like that. Now let's look at the harmonic minor scale. There's certainly place for this, particularly when it goes to the E7, but you could put bits of this all the way through. So I'm going to try forcing it all the way through, and some of it will work, some of it won't, but when it gets to the E7 it definitely will work. It does sound forced, but a taster of that in your solo I think is going to help things along. One trick that I very often use on a minor jazz song is hovering on the ninth. So in the case of A minor, that's the 8, so the 9 is going to be a B, and playing an extended B over A minor does have a special effect. Let's try that. It's kind of like levitation. You are sitting a foot above the ground when you do that. And finally, something that Django did a lot of, and gypsy jazz players do a lot of on minors, is to emphasize the minor 6. So in this case, the E is the 5, and the minor 6, a raised 6, is the F sharp. That's a nice little lick which I've used lots in the past, and this just kind of makes that minor sound a lot more interesting and exciting. You shouldn't overuse it, but you can use it quite a lot. I'll just give you an example of overusing it. So lots of ideas here. Hope you enjoyed this. If you would like a copy of the sheet music, do subscribe to the channel and send me an email. And if you'd like to help support the work that I'm doing, creating these videos, and it is most of my time that goes into them, then do please consider joining me on Patreon. And one of the many benefits you will get there is all of my PDFs in one go. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.